Good morning everyone, this is Ashima Verma and this lecture is entitled Business Ethics. After studying this module, we shall be able to know the basic knowledge of business ethics. Number 2, understand the concept of applied business ethics. Number 3, identify the various types. And finally, analyze the recent trends in business ethics. Let's start by understanding the meaning of the word ethics. Ethics is derived from a Greek word ethos, which means character. They are the beliefs, customs or habits that guide an individual to choose between right and wrong. It is also defined as a discipline that calls for moral duties and obligations of human beings. Ethics are broadly classified into descriptive ethics, meta-ethics, normative ethics, and applied ethics. The current module deals with business ethics in particular. Now let's have a brief view at their meanings. Descriptive ethics studies morality from the scientific point of view. The understanding of moral behavior is tested empirically through models that are developed in descriptive ethics. Meta-ethics means about ethics. It enhances the understanding of morality through concepts like cheerfulness, happiness, righteous character. It is more than just thinking about what is ought to be done. For example, a nurse shall form a good nurse-patient relationship if she has a working knowledge of meta-ethics. Normative ethics define the character of a person, the type of behavior one should follow, or how one should make decisions in life. Let's now try and understand business ethics. Where the decision regarding right and wrong needs to be taken in business situations or activities, it is called business ethics. It is explained at 3 levels: how we act as individuals, how our organization acts, and how we form a part of it, and how the society is structured by us. At the individual level, the ethical issues that we face in our business careers can be fairly predicted. Once we have correctly predicted those, we can deal with them much more wisely with the help of all the ethical knowledge that we have gained as individuals in our lives. Now taking it at the organizational level. The organization is structured by us, and therefore the organization would provide a right path, direct individuals to it, and incentivize them to act accordingly. Finally, business ethics influences the structure of business society, that is the rules and regulations, the laws and the stature which binds the business organizations that invariably completes our societies. When these ethics are applied in our life, we call it applied ethics. It means practicing all the moral knowledge that we have gained. According to Newell, ethical behavior can be defined either as behavior that maximizes happiness or minimizes harm, or where individuals' behavior is motivated by principles of duty. The domain of business ethics is very wide because it deals with compliance to norms and standards relating to an organization and its employees and its other stakeholders. Almost all functional areas of any business organization, they are covered under business ethics. Now, the philosophy of any organization is reflected by its ethical rules and choices made. Business ethics is applicable to any type of business organization. Thus, business ethics or corporate ethics is a form of applied ethics that deals with ethical principles and morals or ethical problems that a business organization faces. Now we would take our discussion to the next section, where we would explore the type of business ethics. First, this is ethics in human resource management. Now when we talk about human resource management, there are 2 contradicting views. On one hand, we have neo-liberationists who believe that the sole motive of any business is to make profit, and this can be achieved through the utilization of human resources to the fullest. This, according to them, will lead to value creation and therefore benefiting the society and its employees as a whole. On the other hand, we have leaders who are of the opinion that businesses, they are run by market interests, which are fulfilled by the people working in the organization, and so they are at the highest risk. Here in the diagram, many ethical issues have been mentioned, but we will discuss a few of them in the following section. HRM comes into play, 1, through compensation plans. Well, deciding upon the compensation of the employees is one of the most difficult and ethically questioning tasks for a manager. He has to make a decision between the interests of its employees on one hand and the top management on the other. This issue is further complicated when deciding upon the long-term compensation and incentive plans. Therefore, the role of ethics come into play and is very crucial. Number 2, gender, disability and race. Employees have long been differentiated on the basis of gender, origin, race at their workplaces. Today, with the help of ethics, various laws and regulatory framework has come into place that has helped in reduction of this prejudice to a major extent. So now, the only criterion on which distinction is made among employees is their performances. And number 3, employment issues. There are n number of issues pertaining to employment, but here we would be focusing mainly on hiring. It is the task for the manager to decide to choose between the candidate who has come on merit and the other one who might be there because of some recommendation by a manager's friend or a friend of a senior in the organization. Hence, the role of the HR manager is extremely diverse and has to keep a constant check if he follows ethics in the organization as well as make sure that others follow. Second, ethics in marketing. Many companies today are ethical and advertising it can be extremely beneficial for them. Marketing plays a very important role in broadcasting it. It can give them a boost in their sales. Now, talking about ethical marketing, it is not merely a strategy, but a philosophy that guides people in the marketing department promoting truthfulness, adequacy, trustworthiness and reliability in all advertising. What may be right for one may not be right for the other person, and because of this reason, ethical marketing, they are general set of rules that direct companies on the right path when they examine their own marketing strategies. So companies use unethical means to get that edge over their competitors. But in doing so, they could achieve short-term gains, but not long-term. If they want to maintain long-term relationship with their customers, companies, they should follow ethical rules to advertise, market and sell their product. Not every company can be 100% ethical or unethical. They live in the grey. For example, in one of the Dove advertisements in India, they featured real models to give a realistic idea about the product. And in some other advertisement, they featured models and removed their imperfections to sell their idea to the public. A major example of ethical marketing is the Body Shop. This chain of bath and body stores, they are entrusted with using organic raw materials, production of goods with no harm to the animals and treating employees with fairness and respect. They have been one of the profound cases that have brought ethics in the center of their marketing strategies. This has also distinguished them from their competitors in the industry. Number 3, ethics in production. Ethics in production is a very important part of business ethics. It deals with ensuring that the products that companies produces or any activity related to production is not harming the environment, consumer and the society. In this competitive environment, businesses, they try to reduce costs and maximize profits, and in doing so, they might compromise on the quality. Here, the function of ethics in production crops in. Therefore, it ensures that the moral standards and principles, they are accompanied with the motive to survive in the market. Let's now get to the concern areas of production. Number 1, safe manufacturing environment. Manufacturing environment involves the use of risky machines, where sometimes even the life of workers, they are at stake. In such situations and otherwise, it becomes imperative to provide them with safety. Now, ethics in production ensures that businesses, they are providing with protecting gears to be worn by the workers, and that such safety procedures that are legally mandatory and ethically necessary are established. Number 2, reduced environmental effects. Manufacturing units, apart from manufacturing goods, produce a lot of waste material. Legal restrictions specify in what quantities of these harmful waste can be thrown in the environment. So ethics here ensure that bare minimum amount of waste is secreted, and efforts must be made to ensure that such technologies are developed whereby this waste is somehow made usable. If such technological development is not possible, then manufacturing processes must be improved to produce the bare minimum. This would ensure that businesses are complying to legal as well as ethical rules set out by the government. Number 3, secure workplace. It is very important for any organization that all its employees, they feel safe at their workplace, especially female employees. The ethical aspect makes sure that no employee is subject to any form of sexual harassment or workplace hostility. It also includes that all employees are treated fairly and they feel comfortable in the workplace setting. Therefore, such policies need to be developed that are pro-secure environment. We can get maximum employee efficiency only if they feel safe and secure at their workplace. Number 4, safe products. The companies are also responsible for their products once they are sold. They must make sure that the shipping of the products is safe. The ethical and legal aspect ensures that the products, they are not harmful or dangerous for use by the customers once they leave the factory. They are up to standards as promised by the company. Finally, coming to ethics in technology. Now, technology ethics is applying ethics to the practical use of technology. Today, technology has entered every aspect of our life. Earlier, our actions were constrained because of our weakness, that is, of not having technology. But today, since we have it everywhere, so we have to constrain its use by bringing in ethics. Because with such easy access to technology, somewhere morals get lost, and therefore technological ethics is growing so much in prominence. Here, we have two contexts of technology. One is in terms of benefiting that technology provides to humankind, and the other is empowering some people and suffocating others for the same. For example, many people lost their jobs when technology entered office space. The benefits of technology come at a cost, and these costs are in the name of the computer viruses, Trojans that infringe the privacy of people. This calls for a check on the pace with which technology is growing. Another major challenge posed by technology is that of consumerism. The speed with which new products enter the market threatens the environment. For example, a new version of the same mobile phone enters the market every 6 months. Now people buy it crazily, dumping their previous handsets without even thinking about its repercussions and its impact on the environment as a whole. And so they add to environmental degradation. Be it computer screens, keyboards, television sets, all of which cannot be decomposed easily. And so the need of ethics in technology is only growing to escalate in importance. Because this pace of technological growth does not seem to slow down. Therefore, the future we want to create can only be secured if we have ethics and morals in place. Let's now have a look at the recent trends in business ethics. Number 1, ethics in data. Data refers to facts or information which is mostly in recorded form, and this data is recorded in digital format. Data is recorded as a text, audio, video and still images, and this data that is generated by millions of people around the globe every second needs to be protected. It can be hampered by unwarranted Trojans while collection and transmission. Therefore, data ethics is becoming a very important field in business ethics, especially for those who design and implement data tools. They need to make sure that the data is secure when they're recorded as well as when stored, so that the use of data is done without end and inhibition. Number 2, ethics and cybersecurity. The online data information networks, they are provided and secured by cybersecurity. Ethics form an integral part of this system. the myriad of adverse actors across online platforms with sole aim to exploit and destroy this data, the ethical responsibility on cybersecurity professionals is increasing day by day. Hence, there is a consequential need to establish more stringent ethical policies and fenced online services that shield individual data and systems. Number 3. Ethics and social sector. Social sector can be divided into two categories. The donors, like philanthropists, individuals, non-profit making organizations like hospitals, universities, and they become part of business world when they use the money they receive to sell some product and reinvest what they receive on sales into the organization. Now, the most important ethical issue that comes up here is of unreasonable compensation to the person, keeping in mind the size of the non-profit. Others could be unusual perks, diversion of assets and mismanagement in its operations. Finally, ethics and environment virtue. Keeping in mind the environmental crisis and the challenges these pose to human beings, studying environment virtue has become all the more crucial. Many ethicists propose that we need to develop a new approach to deal with this problem. Virtue ethics help to shape the character of a person exactly as needed to bring about a positive change in this world. The character that we are here talking about is an environmental conscious character. To develop it, we first need to behave in the right way. This will bring about the right actions, and this has to be done by each one of us together. Only then we can expect that this virtue to manifest in us for the common good of mankind. Let's now discuss a very important case, the study of Starbucks. Kevin Johnson faced a leadership test just 1 year after becoming the CEO of Starbucks. It took place in Philadelphia Starbucks when two black men, they were arrested for not ordering anything and sitting at the restaurant for hours. Now, the store manager asked them to leave, but they refused and said that they were sitting there to meet somebody. Now, the manager called the police and got them arrested. Others sitting there made a video which went viral, and people at the restaurant reported that many of them too did not order anything to eat or drink, but they were not asked to leave the premises. Everyone called the incident as racist and discriminatory. Later, the CEO apologized to the two black men personally and also to the public for the unfortunate incident. He took full responsibility and promised that such incidents shall never take place again. This was followed by an unconscious bias training in its 8,000 stores pan-US. Now, summarizing it all, we cannot say that being ethical is same as whatever society accepts. In most societies, people work according to set standards which are usually ethical. But these standards too can deviate from the ethical path. Nazi Germany was a society where the morally corrupt but was widely practiced, and that too for a very long time. Ethics is a study and development of one's ethical standards, therefore becomes inevitable to check and examine one's standards to ensure that they are well-shaped and reasonable. Ethics is a cornerstone for all the change that we need in this world. It has long been not given its true regard, but today, with the consequences of our own actions, we stand at the final stage where if we not wake up from our slumber, it is going to be very difficult to move back. Therefore, giving ethics its value in almost every place possible so that we can live in peace with nature, environment, businesses, and probably everything around us. Thank you.